Hello everyone, Equipment and welcome to a test video on different setups I'm gonna try out on my Custom Crit Ranger. And I'm gonna do this on this map here. It's a colonnade map, merciless difficulty, as always. It must be on when you're on the map. Not a super high map, but some of my skill games I'm going to use do not have the highest level. So I'm going to try different setups and see who are the most powerful, but most importantly, who are the most fun to use. So let's start out with the one I'm currently using all the time, which are the most powerful one, but it can be a little bit boring to use. And it is Fireball, Arctic Breath, and Arc. So let's see how this will work. As you can see, it worked really well. If I'm using my Diamond Flask, it works even more well. That's shredding all the enemies to bits, can you say? But as you can see, it's a very powerful setup. But let's try out with some other setups, because it can be a little bit boring to using that a long time. So I changed my setup now. I'm using a pure cold setup. My setup now is Freezing Pulse, Glacial Cascade, and Arctic Breath. So let's see how a pure ice setup works. Looks really nice. And that's quite a bit of damage as well. See if we can find some more enemies to shoot at. As you can see, it's working really well. Sorry, my game is a little bit off sometime. I have some lag problem right now. Can be for the skill, but usually not. My internet right now is a little bit bad. That's the reason I haven't been able to make videos in a couple of days. But as you can see, it's working really well. This is definitely a setup that works. But let's try out some other setup. So now I'm using a pure lightning setup, and I'm using Spark, Arc, and Ball Lightning. So let's see how this works. Not as powerful as my other setup, it looks like. The enemy die and not dying that fast. But I know a trick you can do with this pure lightning setup. If you, for example, have a unique bow called Voltaxic Rift, you will make all of your lightning attack will become all your lightning damage will become chaos damage. And if I had that bow right now, on this enemy will be one shot. If I had that chaos damage, I don't have that bow. As you can see, it looks really nice, but it doesn't do as much damage. But you can probably, if you're cursing the enemy with conductivity when you're starting shooting against them, it will work much better. Anyway, it's a really flashy skill, and that's actually something I really like. Let's try out something else. I'm going to use a pure fire setup now. I'm going to use the new skill called Magma Orbs. And I'm going to use Fireball. But I only have 2 fire skills I'm going to use, so I'm going to have lesser multiple projectiles to increase my projectiles even more. So let's see how this works. It's pretty powerful. Need to be careful against this enemy. I can't dodge or evade chaos damage. And by the way, my Magma do not have high level. That's the reason it doesn't do as much damage. But if you're leveling it up to a really high level, this will be no problem as using as a main skill, main setup. And it's really ridiculously awesome to look at, if you ask me. It looks really nice. And it works really well. But let's try another setup. Now I'm going to use a pure AoE setup. And I'm going to use increased AoE. I'm going to use increased critical damage. And I'm going to use Shock Nova. And I'm going to use Ice Nova. So let's see how this will play out. Try it against these enemies here. By the way, my Shock Nova and Ice Nova do actually have really low level. I need to leveling up more for them to do more damage. But as you can see, even in this low level, my Shock Nova is only level... what's the level for now? My Shock Nova is level 9. And my Ice Nova is only level 14. So they will do a ton more damage if you're leveling up to almost 20 or even more than that. It will be more powerful. But let's try another setup. This setup is going to be a little bit different. I'm only going to use one skill, and that is Ethereal Knives. I'm only going to use that. And it is supported by both greater multiple projectiles, and it's also supported by less multiple projectiles and critical strike damage. It's only one spell I'm going to use right now. So let's see what's happened when I'm using against the enemy. But my build setup is not optimized for this skill. As you can see, it does quite a bit of damage. As you can see, it's working really well. I'm shooting a ton of projectiles against enemies. But I don't have the optimal setup for this particular skill. Let's try out another setup, shall we? And my last setup we're gonna try out, it is Stormcall and Glacial Cascade, which are supported by increased AoE. So let's see if this will work. It's working pretty well. Perhaps it is not the most powerful setup. Yes, but it looks really nice. But it's not the most powerful one. And there we have it. If you have any suggestions for some other fun skill setups I can try out, please ask me in the comments, and I will maybe do another video when I try out different setups. I'm gonna try to do this shot setup, but I don't right now have my gear. And the gear I need to have, a friend of me have borrowed on me, so, and he is not online right now, so I can't get it right now. But when I get that gear, I'm gonna do. I'm going to try out I'm going to try out this shot. And if you have any question about this build or the setup that I tried out, and I hope I show all of the skill gems here. There were just some of the skill gems. There are much more combination you can do. I really like the Aura combination where I used Shock Nova and Ice Nova. I need to level these skill gems up more. By the way, if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I will really be happy to answer them. And thanks for watching everyone, and I see you guys next time.